The NBA trade rumor mill is on fire once again, and this time, the Golden State Warriors are right at the center of the conversation. According to insiders and analysts, the Warriors are being strongly linked to a new trade target at $2,800,834 Miami Heat center who is being touted as the perfect addition to fill a major hole on Golden State's roster. Could this be the blockbuster move that changes everything for Stephen Curry's team and reignites their championship hopes? Buckle up, Dub Nation, because we are diving deep into what could be one of the smartest trade moves the Warriors have made in years. Now, let's be honest, the Warriors' biggest weakness in recent seasons has been their lack of size and consistent interior defense. Even during their championship runs, Golden State often relied on a smaller lineup, the iconic death lineup with Draymond Green at center to outshoot and outrun their opponents. But times have changed. The Western Conference is now stacked with dominant big men like Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, and Karl Anthony Towns. Without a reliable presence in the paint, the Warriors have been forced to rely too heavily on Kevin Looney, who, while dependable, isn't enough to carry them through a long playoff series against elite frontcourts. This is where the Miami Heat's young center comes into play. Standing 6'10" with impressive athleticism, strong rebounding instincts, and the ability to guard multiple positions, this player has caught the eye of scouts and executives all around the league. His current contract of $2.8 million makes him an affordable trade target for a team like Golden State, which is already dealing with luxury tax issues and financial constraints. For the Warriors, this isn't just about making a flashy move, it's about making a logical one. Analysts predict that this Miami Heat center, who has shown flashes of brilliance during his limited minutes, could thrive in Golden State's system. Imagine him running the floor alongside Curry, catching lobs from Chris Paul or Brandon Podziemski, and anchoring the defense next to Draymond Green. His energy and hustle fit perfectly with the Warriors' DNA. He doesn't need the ball to be effective, which is crucial when you have stars like Curry and Klay Thompson commanding the offense. The trade rumor first gained traction when a well-known NBA insider mentioned on a podcast that the Warriors are monitoring the Heat's frontcourt situation very closely. The Heat, known for developing tough, gritty players under coach Erik Spoelstra, might be willing to part with this young big man if it means improving other areas of their roster, especially with Bam Adebayo holding down the starting center spot. This opens the door for Golden State to swoop in with an enticing offer. But what would a trade like this look like? Let's break down the possibilities. The Warriors could package a combination of young players and second-round picks to acquire the Heat's center. Names like Moses Moody or Tracy Jackson-Davis have been floated as potential trade chips, along with some of Golden State's future draft capital. The Warriors' front office, led by Mike Dunleavy Jr., has made it clear that they're open to making moves that both improve the current roster and don't mortgage the future entirely. A deal with Miami fits that mold perfectly. Now, some fans might be asking, why go after a young center instead of a big-name star? The answer is simple: it's all about fit and flexibility. The Warriors don't necessarily need another superstar, they need a role player who can do the dirty work, grab rebounds, block shots, and play solid defense without demanding touches on offense. That's exactly what this Miami Heat center brings to the table. Think of him as the modern version of Andrew Bogut, a guy who won't score 20 points per game, but will do all the little things that help teams win championships. Let's paint a picture for you. Imagine a Warriors lineup with Curry, Klay, Wiggins, Draymond, and this new Miami Heat center. That's a mix of shooting, defense, and size that the current roster desperately lacks. The bench would also get a boost, as Looney could slide into a backup role where he's more effective against second units. Chris Paul would have another lob target and pick-and-roll partner, while Kuminga could continue to develop without being forced to play out of position as a small ball power forward. The addition of this center could also unlock Draymond Green in new ways. Draymond has always been at his best when paired with a true big man, allowing him to roam defensively, switch onto guards, and create chaos without being stuck battling 7-footers in the paint every night. This trade would bring balance back to the Warriors' defense and allow them to better match up with teams like Denver, Minnesota, and even the Lakers. Let's not forget about the offensive side of things. While this Heat center isn't known for his scoring, he's an excellent rim runner who can finish strong around the basket. In Golden State's motion-heavy offense, having a big who can set solid screens, dive to the rim, and create vertical spacing is invaluable. We've seen how deadly Curry can be when paired with a big who can roll hard to the hoop. Just look at how effective the Curry-Looney pick and roll has been over the years. Now, imagine adding a more athletic, explosive big into that mix. It's scary. But here's the big question: are the Warriors willing to part with young talent like Moses Moody or even Brandon Podziemski to make this deal happen? The front office has to weigh the short-term benefits of adding a defensive anchor against the long-term potential of their young core. It's a tough call, but with Curry still performing at an MVP level, the urgency to win now is higher than ever. Fans are already buzzing on social media, debating whether this move is the missing piece for Golden State's championship puzzle. Some believe this is exactly what the Warriors need to get back to the top of the West. Others argue that it's too small of a move and that the team should be swinging for the fences with bigger names like Pascal Siakam or Karl Anthony Towns. But here's the thing: sometimes it's the under-the-radar trades that make the biggest difference. Remember when the Warriors traded for Andre Iguodala? It wasn't a flashy move at the time, but it turned out to be a championship-defining decision. The Miami Heat, on the other hand, are always open to reshaping their roster. Pat Riley is one of the savviest executives in the league, and if he sees an opportunity to turn one of his young role players into draft picks or a needed perimeter shooter, he'll make that call. The Heat are also in win-now mode with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Herro leading the charge. They might not see this center as a key piece of their long-term future, which makes a trade with Golden State even more realistic. Now, let's take a moment to think about how this move could affect the Western Conference landscape. If the Warriors shore up their interior defense and rebounding, they become a much tougher matchup for teams like the Nuggets, who dominated them with Jokic's size and skill. Against the Lakers, having an athletic big who can body up Anthony Davis would be a game-changer. And when it comes to younger, faster teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, this new piece could help balance Golden State's speed with size. The addition of this Miami Heat center would also allow Steve Kerr to experiment with new lineups. We could see combinations like Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Kuminga, and the Heat center group that's athletic, long, and versatile. Or picture a second unit with Chris Paul, Moody, Gary Payton II, Draymond, and Looney, a defensive nightmare for opposing benches. The possibilities are endless.